Buy sealed product, chase the hits, grade everything, flip for profit. Isn't that everything everyone's saying right now? But what if it sucks? Hi, I'm Tony, FireleafTCG, where side effects may include shopping. Today, I want to do two things. I want to give a little bit about where I am in the hobby right now and what I've seen since I got back in to collecting cards and all of this. And I also want to not just speak about collecting something, but doing something a little more fun. Like this kind of fun. Shout out to Oak Labs on Instagram. I found them, reached out to them, got me this really awesome binder, and couldn't have done it without you. Link to their Instagram will be down in the description below. So in my craziness, I've decided that illustration rares are probably my favorite thing about getting back into the hobby. I really, really like Pokemon, and I really, really like art. So if you make them kiss, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect every single one. I know not all of them are out. I think there's around 400 to 500 at the time of me recording this video, but I think it would be really cool to have one binder with all of them. So while we're talking about the hobbyist kind of crazy topic today, we're going to show a little bit of B-roll of me putting together this binder. It's going to be the beginning of it and hopefully a long series from here on out. I'm going to collect them all, so stay tuned. When I got into the hobby, it was around the time of 151. That was my first official dive back in. I actually was working at Best Buy when XY Evolutions came out, so that was a good time. You know, I opened up a couple of packs. I actually pulled my first Charizard. I'll show that on the screen because that's cool, you know. The problem that I have with the advice that's been on the internet circulating the last few years is that it's outdated. It's not right anymore. Most of it pushes for, you know, your master sets. You want to have a good return on investment, so you want things to be safe. We're speculating all these different things, like Drowsy was like $90 and then not. When you're doing these things, when you're chasing after the hype and just following the market, it stops being fun. You're wasting money. You're just doing things that you're not even really enjoying, but you just want things that other people want. And that's where it fails. You're collecting like it's a job, not a hobby. And that's where it fails. Here's what actually works. The real timeless advice, and I'll give you one for free, is that mindset-based collecting is gonna beat market-based collecting 10 out of 10 times. I see a lot of people online that go, hey, I just got into the hobby. What should I collect? And on the one hand, I do understand, you know, there's tons of products, different generations, all that. But on the other hand, I feel like that's a question that you should be asking yourself, not the internet. What do I want to collect? Basically, what excites me? And if you haven't done that in the beginning of your collecting, I feel like you're already off on the wrong foot. Think about when you were a kid, and well, maybe not everybody is a kid like me, but I was a kid, believe it or not. Back in the day, Pokemon was pretty niche. No, I'm just kidding, it was everything. But the cards that we showed each other, the cards that we used as currency as children back in the day, they weren't the highest rarity cards. I had a Caterpie card, and I loved Caterpie. I think it was the show. I think the show really made me like Caterpie, you know, when he does the little evolution, the little that thing, that was pretty cool. I like that. But Caterpie was not, is not, and probably will never be a high value card. 151 notwithstanding. But all that's to say is, I chose the cards that I liked. I chose the cards that spoke to me. I chose the cards that made me feel something. And that hasn't changed today. So now I want to turn things over to you guys. What advice have you gotten that hasn't worked out for you? Tell me something that you learned or had to relearn in the hobby because it wasn't working out for you previously. I want to know, how are you collecting differently now? And at this point, we'll go ahead and switch on over to Hand Tony and we'll show you some of the cards that I'm going to be putting in this bad boy. All right, and here's just a little peek at the first handful of cards that I have to put in here. These are all illustration or special illustration rare. They're all going to be English just because, you know, a Pokedex needs to be readable, I guess. Let me get there. So yeah, we've got a Clamperl and Fernape. Dope. This Pecharunt from, I believe that was the Shrouded Fables promo card. My boy Noctowl, really, really cool illustration. This is just the greatest. All right, it doesn't get any better than the Alolan Doug Trio. Don't these guys look like they're about to drop the best rock album the 80s has ever seen? Clauncher, it's a really nice blue. I'd like a full page of those. Raboot. This was Stellar Crown had some really, really cool illustrations. I know didn't get a lot of love. There's not too many big chase cards, but I mean, just look at that. Top tier Snowball. King Gambit. This is, man, this is really, really cool. Reminds me of the spot where you find him at in Scarlet and Violet. I don't know if King Gambit, you find him out there, but I know there's a bamboo thicket with a bunch of the Bisharp and I can't remember the name of them. Iron Treads. I think specifically the sky. I don't know if you can really see that come through on the camera, but specifically the sky is just really, really nice looking. And this guy, ooh man, this guy. The Gren Ninja Water Frog. I know this card gets a lot of hate, but the Entei is pretty cool. All right, I think this one's really nice. And finally, yeah, what I have to consider is probably my favorite card from all of the SV era. It just, you know, money notwithstanding, when you think of like Pokemon cards, I feel like this is a card that you hand to your mom and she goes, "That's nice, honey," but you know it's nice. So yeah. And there we have it. I built a binder that I personally love having in my collection, and I can't wait to see it get bigger. And if you are excited to see more of this binder or anything else that you loved on this channel, ooh, no, let me not assume that people love something on my channel. Oh. And if you want to see that happen, or if you liked anything that you saw today, like the video. Peace.